Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a little while. I got a few projects I got cooking out here in the garage. Garage is a little bit crowded today because I got the old Jeep stuck in here and I can't really roll it outside, or at least I don't want to, because Old Man Winter showed up. Alright, so I want to give you guys a quick update on what's been happening on the car and here in the garage. The answer is not much on the car. A little bit, which we're going to get into here in a second. Mostly, I've been getting this old Jeep in shape. Some of it's kind of boring stuff. If you haven't got a chance to go back and see some of my other videos, I'll put a link up there where I went ahead and did the master cylinder on it. I put a rear seat in it. I also had to rebuild the carburetor. A little bit of electrical stuff on it to get it all squared away, but it's running good now. It's really dialed in, and we've been going up in the mountains a little bit. It's hunting season here in Colorado, and it's doing pretty good. That old Jeep does well. I'm actually surprised with how well it gets around out there. Won't go over 50 miles an hour, but it does real well out in the hills, so I really like it. I'm glad to have it. Thanks for giving me a good deal on it, Dad. All right, let me give another little update here on the shop stuff. You guys caught the swap meet. That was a good time. Made a little bit of money, a little bit more money, and then hopefully I can buy like a soft top for this Jeep and the last bit of stuff I need to get this car on the road. But check this out, reorganized this part of the shop, and that's a big addition. That drill press, that is awesome. I had just gotten a little one I put over here, a little one, a stand on a bench one. It was actually really good, but my dad upgraded his and made me a deal on that. Long story short, I have a nice upright drill press. It's awesome. Now it's good because I can kind of keep my metalworking stuff over there, away from the pathway into the castle here. And yeah, so that's it. Shop's organized and I'm ready to dig back in and do a little bit of work on the car. Let me give you an update on here what we did. So just recently I came in and I pulled, in fact yesterday and the day before I was working on it, I pulled the wood out of the top here. And I didn't video any of it because I had my daughter out here helping me, and it's awesome. She's a lot of fun. And I don't video when I have my kids help me because YouTube and kids on videos and whatnot. I don't quite get it. I just know I probably shouldn't do it. So I didn't film it, and it's okay because it's worth it. I have a blast with the kids out here when they're helping me anyway. So we pulled the wood down and stained it. Now you'll notice that some of these are different colors because not all of these are the original. This is the original wood that's been cleaned up, sanded down real good, and stained. This is an after, well look at that, I got a run in it. Well, it's one that I made, that I whipped up. My father-in-law helped me whip some of these up, and then I did a couple more at my dad's house when I was out there last. And all this is I had to replace it because the rest of the bows were wavy and warped and they were hammered. So all this is board. Like what you build your deck out of board. I got it from like, you know, the big box store, Home Depot, I think. And just got it because it was the right width, really, of what I needed. Traced out the pattern from the original, chopped it out, there we go. Sanded it down, stained it, here we are. So I made a few of these bows. I made a couple extras too, so anyway, we'll get back to that. But I put some stain on them, and you can see the old original wood in the car. Or the stuff that came with it when I had it anyway. It was old. I mean, it was nasty, and we really sanded it down and did our best, and then it took stain a little bit, but it still looks pretty nasty. As long as it's protected, I don't want it to get too bad in case it gets wet or something, but anyway, whatever, it is what it is. I'm putting it back together, and I'm going to put it in the car, but in order to get it, before I do that, I'm going to come in here in the channels where it rides, and I'm going to clean all that up, and I'm going to spray some black paint on it. I think it'll look better that way because the car is going to be bare metal, but I'll put black down in here behind all that. So that's going to take a little bit, some sanding, maybe even a little bit of masking, and then I'm going to go to town on that. Anyway, so enjoy. Hopefully when this is all wrapped up, I'll have all my new wood in the roof, and then we're almost there. Alright guys, not too fancy, just enough to scuff it up. I think somebody did, what is that, Trem Clad or one of those brown primer stuff over like everything on this car at one point, which was good. Really preserved the metal well, but man, it gets everywhere, it's nasty. I'm glad I put the sheet in here to catch it all. But I just I'm gonna go over one more time with a Scotch-Brite pad, and then it'll be good enough for some black spray paint. And like a lot of stuff with this car, I was kind of initially told myself I was going to kind of go do, you know, kind of a half effort and just leave this back here. But then I realized, you know, it'll look a lot better if I do this right. So I'm going to go through and unbolt this, both brackets, all this, take this out, sand it down real well, and stain the wood, paint the two metal brackets, and then just continue painting around the back side of that. So I got a little bit more work cut out for me, but I think it's going to be worth it. It'll really look good, and that's really going to be finished for the top, at least for now. Eventually I might do one of those vinyl, kind of like, you know, that idea, the bikini cover on the Jeep, kind of that idea. Snap along the sides or something. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know. For now it's going to just be the wood, so I want to make it look pretty good, at least. Oh, and I keep looking at this body because I dread sanding all the rest of this paint off, but I got to get that next. I'll never get there though. I'll get started on this, so I'll bring you back after a while. Alrighty guys, what I did was start to take this apart and realized I wasn't going to get this wood out of there without tearing it up. I mean, I was prying and it was going to start tearing it up, so I just quit because I realized I didn't need to get it out of there. I have it separated, so I just hit it with here some 60 grit and then 150 and then 220. Smoothed it out. I'm going to come in and I'm going to hit it with my stain here in a minute. But first, I kind of laid down some tape to keep it from getting too crazy overspray. I'm going to go around and spray the channel in that centerpiece with my trusty semi-gloss black. If you're building a rat rod, you should buy this stuff by the 6-pack. That's what I do. And I'm going to hit this stuff, and then I'll bring you back and show you what I'm going to do to stain the wood. Alright guys, I made the channels black, and this is prepped and ready. Actually, I need to pull the paint off, tape off. And then I'm just going to hit it with some of this stuff, some Minwax Poly Shade. It's a stain and polyurethane in one step. And the whole reason I picked this color is Tudor, like the car. So, I guess that's how it's pronounced. Tudor? I don't know. You guys tell me. Put a comment down there. Try to phonetically sound out how it's supposed to be sounded. But that's the color I'm with. That's what I did these with. And the directions are to use a certain kind of brush and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take my shop towel, a clean one, dip it in there and wipe it on and try not to make a mess. So, let's do that. And then I'll bring you back. And then it is going to be dinner time. So, that'll be a good chance for all this to dry. See you in a little bit. Alright guys, you want to see how we did here. There's the stain wiped on there. I'm going to let that dry. I'll just pound it back with a hammer and bolt it all back in. I've got my brackets painted for the corners. They're drying and the rest of the paint's drying. Time for dinner now. I'll go in there and see if my 12-year-old kicks my butt at Jeopardy again. And then hopefully afterward I can come out, if things are dry enough, I'll work it a little bit. Bring you guys back when it's time to put all this together. Hey guys, after dinner, chilly night, appropriate with the weather, it was awesome. Thanks sweetheart, good food. Here's where we are. I finished bolting all of my side pieces in, and I stained this back piece and bolted it in. And it wasn't hard, it was just kind of tedious because all this hardware was old, and so I took those carriage bolts and I hit it on my flap wheel part of my grinder, cleaned up the tops of them. Some of them needed the threads cleaned up on them. Had to jam them through, 1/4-inch nut. Some of them had locks, some just flats, but depending on what they were behind, whether it was the wood or the metal. But anyway, I got them all in, and I got them all tightened down, snugged down, and I like it. It looks really good. I mean, this wood was just hammered before, like throwaway hammered, and now it looks better. So, next thing I'm going to do is throw my roof bows in. Obviously, the ones I made I hadn't drilled out yet, so I got to come in and punch some holes, countersink them, and drop them in there. And I think I got enough time. I'll knock that out real quick tonight. because I'd really like to button this whole top up and call this good. So, all right, I'm gonna hit it here for a little bit longer and try to get these holes drilled in there and get these roof posts mounted. See ya. All right, guys, tell me what you think. There it is, the finished roof. Now, I'm not trying to fool anybody with the homemade bows. I just wanted it to look better than the hammered, snaky ones that were in there. I mean, they were really bad, so this definitely looks better. I learned some tricks here, some things I should have done. Like I should have cut them or drilled them and countersunk them before I stained them. I needed bolts too. Some of the bolts are too long that are in there. Some don't have lock washers because they're almost too short, but it's all right. That's it. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, actually, and I know it'll last a little longer. Yeah, so that's it. That's this project. Just one more installment of getting this whole thing on the road. Hey, do me a favor, if you haven't done so already, just hit the subscribe button. I looked at the stats the other day and like only a third of you that watch the videos are subscribed. So, hey, check it out, hit the button. It's cool, it helps me out a bunch. I do appreciate it. All right, that's it for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys on the next one. I almost didn't mention my small shop little tech tip of the day here. You got a fitted sheet. You just throw it inside the car, hook it over everything. Look at that, catches all the junk. Now I'm just gonna pop this thing out, shake it out. Anyway, it's late. I gotta quit because it's bedtime. My wife wants the sheet back to go on her bed so we can go to bed. So, all right, see you guys.